All right, should we crack the beer?
Yeah, so we've got
Hawktoberfest.
Oktoberfest. This is our first Iowa beer.
This is our
on
first
the
Iowa beer.
podcast.
Yeah. This
Love
is
that.
by Back Pocket Brewing. Also, shout out to Ari for bringing this from Iowa when he came this weekend.
Yeah, shout out Ari. Right, the crack. So it is Marsden. We've been on our Oktoberfest style beers
We really
recently.
have. Is it 3 in a row?
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, Hawktoberfest, Marsden by Back Pocket Brewing in Coralville.
I think
City?
it's technically Coralville. It's on the river landing in Iowa
cool.
City. Yeah.
Well, cheers.
I'm a big fan of the new can design with the Iowa script, and it's just a classic
it's nice.
beer.
Probably
This
can't
is, I
see
think,
that
the first
far away,
Oktoberfest I've ever had. Okay, slight issue with the cup holders.
Is it too low?
They're a little deep for the cans.
That's okay.
Yeah, if you notice our change of scenery today, we're normally up there, but today we're down here because up there the bees are angry.
There are bees.
There are bees on the porch, and
And-
we've been living amicably for weeks, and now they're hostile suddenly. We would probably
hate
be fine because it's
bees.
night. Yeah, no.
See, I'm just not someone who fucks with bees. So like
Yeah,
the second
no.
Drew's like, oh, like, I've had some bee problems. I was like, nope, not doing it. I don't care if it's
Yeah.
night out.
I got stung on Friday when we were setting up for when we watched the game right here. We projected it on that wall over there that you can't see off screen here. I got stung setting up for that, and I was like, oh, I must have, because I was like fiddling in the ivy up there trying to plug in these overhead lights above us,
There's a lot of ivy all
Yeah.
around their deck.
and I was
area.
like, oh, I probably pissed one off fiddling in the ivy, like whatever, it happens. And then today I got stung again just walking inside. I went to
Oh,
get
really? You got
groceries,
stung
came back,
again?
and it literally chased me into the kitchen.
Oh,
I heard
fuck
something
that.
buzz by my ear into the kitchen. I was like, what the fuck was that? I closed the door, and then it stung me right in the arm, and I was like, okay,
Yeah,
the
that's a
war
no
with the
for
bees
me.
is on.
Yeah. No,
I'm calling them bees. I think they're wasps. I think it's a wasp.
if it followed you like that, it's probably lost.
Yeah, and if it's hostile,
Yeah.
I think it's yeah.
I hate.
So the landlord has been contacted, and today we're dealing with mosquitoes over wasps, which is not
Hey,
a
we're
great.
getting through it. We're
Yeah.
getting through it.
It's like a 70-30 toss up, but I think the mosquitoes, I would easily rather deal with them.
Honestly, this tastes more like a fest beer. Over like
it's
a
very
Marzen.
light. Yeah, they're quite good.
Definitely very drinkable.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
light, drinkable. It's not too like malty for like, Marzens are usually more malty than like
Yeah,
fest beers. So that's why
it
it almost tastes like a
is-
fest beer.
5.3%, not bad.
Yeah, no, it's definitely
For how
lower.
light it is.
Yeah.
It's a sneak up on you kind of beer.
Yeah. It's almost like more of a fest beer.
Yeah, they're pretty light.
Without pouring it into a glass could be hard to tell, but
That's
it's
true.
good.
Maybe if we crack a second one because they're a little smaller beers today, I can bring a glass down or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Should we start?
should we break into the game here?
Little not interview. little intro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I always forget about that. I'm Drew.
I'm Jeremy.
This is Hawks off Melrose. This is what, week 5? Yeah, week 5.
Week 5.
Um,
Third week with the name? Second week with the name?
Third week. This is our
Third
third
week?
week.
Third
Yeah,
week
yeah.
with the name?
Yeah, we were only 2 without it.
Okay.
Website's in progress. Hopefully that'll be up. I can't promise it'll be up by the time this comes out, but it should be up probably this weekend, I would imagine. Oh, and our socials are up. Yeah, check us out. I'll put these in the link dump. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I think that's the only 3 I've got. Yeah. Maybe we'll make a Facebook. Apply to or appeal to the other crowds.
I do not I don't remember the last time I've been on Facebook.
No,
Besides,
I don't either.
Facebook Marketplace, but
I
that's
only
only when I
know-
specifically want to find something.
Yeah, I only know that when I post on Instagram, there's a button that says, "Do you also want to post to Facebook?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't even have to download it."
Yeah.
We can make one, and I don't even have to install it.
Yeah. Well, for my beer or I guess beer content
Yeah.
page that I have, I didn't even realize it was posting to my Facebook.
Mhm.
So I literally hadn't touched my Facebook, my regular Facebook with all my, friends from high school.
Oh, it's connected to your just regular Facebook?
Yeah, I didn't realize that. So I'm going and my mom sent me something I think she kind of realized, she's like, oh, I don't think you know this is on Facebook. So I looked and it has 20 likes from my parents' friends and
That's
stuff like that. And I'm
awesome.
and people commented on it and I'm I had no idea these were uploading there.
You got to engage the audience.
Yeah, I know. I'm my bad. I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, let's kick us off. Rutgers recap. Oh, wait, before we kick us off, I put this tab. I don't know why I put it under Rutgers recap. Also today, first official basketball practice I saw on Twitter. So,
Nice.
something to look forward to if this game this week doesn't play out.
We'll get into that.
So we made some predictions last week, and I wanted to go over them again because I think it's funny that your prediction was very close on the spread, and mine was pretty close on like the total.
Points,
yeah. So I had 17-42. You had 13-21. We both had Iowa winning. Final 28-38. So a bit more of a shootout than I thought, and a bit more of a slugfest than you thought.
Yeah. Well, I'll just get straight into it. That was one of the more weird games watching Iowa football because it was the opposite what you usually expect.
It absolutely.
Like I was like confident we could score for once in our lives. I was like, I was confident we could go down the field and score, but just not confident in our defense. And it was a weird feeling.
I haven't felt like that since like, I don't know, like the last time that I was more confident in the offense than the defense was probably like Stanzi. And that's not even to say that the defense was bad that year. It was just the offense was really good that year. Yeah. And then one other prediction, I predicted a pick six technically. We only got an interception, and it was kind of a fluke off of a tip.
But it was more, you were saying like, oh, like it would be the first like turnover.
And the one thing that we did talk about that I didn't really predict, the sportsbook predicted, but did come true. Iowa did have less total yards at 346. Rutgers had more total yards at 400, and still won by 10. So
that interception just changed.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
That's why like. That's why they're so important. That's why we need it. We need these against.
That's why punting is winning.
Yeah.
Should we start at the most baffling thing, which is not baffling, but the thing that we haven't seen in a long time?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Passing. So Gronowski, honestly, less passes looking at the box score than it felt like during the game. He was 12 for 18 total. Yeah. Yeah, 186 yards, 12 for 18. It felt like they were throwing it a lot more than they were, but I mean, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, it means like when we were passing the ball, like we were getting completions.
Yes,
it was downfield,
and when we were passing the ball, they were
10.3.
deep. Yes,
yeah, like
average completion of 10.3. He was 3 for 3 on throws between 10 and 20 yards, and 1 for 3 on throws of 20 plus yards, which was that Dayton Howard 42-yard catch, which was just immaculate.
That was awesome, and I was like, wait, who is this guy? I was like, who just caught the ball?
He's like, technically our number 4 receiver.
Yeah, because what's his face is out.
Who was Vanderzee?
Yeah, Vanderzee and
yes.
Bowie.
Yes, Vanderzee would probably be the 4 but because he's out, Howard is the 4. Yeah.
Do you think Bowie would even be above him?
Maybe. I guess I'm not sure about that one. Yeah,
because that's just great. I mean, yeah,
that's true. I didn't even think about that.
I'd never heard of the guy.
Yeah, I only knew him because we'd been looking at the depth chart all year. But like, yeah, I think he might have had like this. I feel like he had another catch this year, at least one. I think he had a touchdown.
I think that might have been last year. He had 2 receptions in the Mass game for 11 yards, but last year he had
a couple short
4 Yeah, it was last year he had 4 receptions and a touchdown.
Okay. Yeah, so 6 of the 18 passes were beyond 10 yards, which is atypical of Iowa.
Yeah, 3 for 3 on balls between 10 and 20 was
very good.
Just didn't expect that.
Yes. Yeah.
Even 1 for 3 for 20 plus, like you don't even see them try the 20
exactly.
plus.
And the 20, and one of them being 42, so like that's a good chunk over 20. Also, Gronowski only pressured on 6 of the 21 dropbacks, so that is maybe more of a testament of Rutgers' D-line than anything else. Not that I'd say our O-line isn't good. I think you put that tweet in here.
Yo, yeah, our offensive line is by far the best.
Yes.
In NCAA right now. Which is crazy.
That is crazy. Okay, so yeah, Trevor Lauk rated 1st, Bo Stevens rated 1st, Logan Jones rated 1st, Cade Piper rated 1st, and Jennings Dunker rated 2nd. Is that all of FBS? That is.
Yeah,
that's wild.
It's the PFF grades, right?
Yeah,
those are the PFF grades for their position.
Total. The O-line's 97.1.
4 of the 5 are 1st, and then
4 of the 5 are 1st, and Jennings Dunker, who's probably the best one,
is ranked 2nd.
Yeah. And then, 97 overall, and that's 10 higher than anyone else. That's wild.
So our offensive line is
excited to see how that holds up for the rest of the year.
Yeah. I mean, thing is, we've played like 2 on paper good offensive teams. So
we have, yeah.
I don't know how good, I guess, the
Rutgers defense
is, but I mean,
Iowa State's
got good defense. God, I wish we had this offensive line. I mean, any of the years that we were in the Big Ten championship the last like 5 years.
I would love to see what like a Yeah, like what Stanley could have done with a better O-line.
Yeah.
And
I
even
mean,
like Petrus. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean,
yeah.
when we had a top, like, literally, like, what, like, top 3 statistical defense that
Yeah.
literally carried us to the Big Ten championship.
And like Petrus struggled on paper, but I mean, that dude was constantly getting hit.
Yeah,
too.
no, the offensive line was poor.
Yeah.
If we had this offensive line, that like we actually would have had a chance.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very curious
we
to
just
see how
have
this holds up next week because
Yeah.
6 of 20, only pressure on 6 of 21 dropbacks is crazy. But I also think Rutgers is a little bit weaker of a defense than probably a lot of the rest of our schedule going forward.
That's true. It also does help though that they have to. I mean, we'll get into like his rushing, but
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
that's also a part of Gronowski's game that's going to keep defenses in check.
Which we
It's
haven't
like,
had
if we rush him
so long.
Yeah, like if we rush him, he might just run up the middle
Yeah.
or whatever. They blitz, he might just run around. Like,
I mean, the last quarterback we had that like would run was probably Beathard. The last quarterback we had who was really good at running was like Brad Banks.
yeah.
It's been a while.
And even like people were like, oh well, Sullivan last year he could
Yeah,
run.
that's true, but he couldn't.
But he
throw.
literally could not
yeah.
throw.
So it was kind of the opposite issue, where like the dude can run, but it's still still a single threat quarterback. Yeah. So Gronowski this week, 13 carries for 55 yards, good. The most impressive stat about this to me was 8 of those 13 rushes were for first downs. So it's not only that he can run, but he knows when to run and when not to.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean,
And
yeah,
then 3 touchdowns
those
on that also.
Yeah, 3
Which
touchdowns.
I imagine that doesn't count as a first down. So 8, 9, 10, 11 of the 13 runs were for either a touchdown or a first down.
That's all you can ask for any type of just run. Like,
yeah.
I mean, when you need that first down, he was getting the first down, which is
Mhm.
exactly what you needed. And as you put in here, first Iowa QB to rush for 3 touchdowns since Matt Rogers
in 1990, who I don't even know who Matt Rogers is.
I've never heard of him.
Fun fact about
Sorry
this,
for
though.
the older generation of Iowa fans.
Yeah, I wasn't born yet. Fun fact about this, it's Big Ten Network, I think, tweeted it out, and they tweeted it out wrong. They said Matt Gronowski.
Oh, of course.
They just never deleted it. It's still up right now.
Oh, really?
And it says Matt Gronowski because I think it was so long before they realized they were just kind of like, fuck it. It's very funny, though. Some of the replies are very good.
Mark's twin, Matt.
My favorite one just said, like, let's go, Matt. Yeah, there it is. Just let's go, Matt.
That's the most likes, too. This is the I mean, I guess I didn't bring it last time, but this is the one time I don't have my glasses, so I'm like squinting.
Yeah,
so
I can. I'm honestly also, the table is a little bit farther away from us today because we're in a different location.
We're trying things out.
Yeah, we'll bounce around a little bit. I said at some point it's going to get cold out here. We're going to be down here with a fire going to stay warm while we record this.
I'm all for that.
Okay, receiving though, Dayton Howard led with obviously the one reception, 42 yards. Kind of like last week, we have, I didn't write the number down this time. Okay, 8 different receivers with a pass, none of them over 3. And the guy with 3 is Moulton, which were 3 catches for 21 yards, all checkdowns.
Yeah. But look at the average for all of them. Like, I know we just talked about how, like, the average throw was 10.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much everyone is over 10 except for, everyone except for Moulton is over 10.
Yeah, we got 42, 15, 25, 21, 16. Like, all these guys
and some of these are single catches, too.
Yeah.
But they are downfield catches. Another thing I highlighted, Kaden Wetjen had 2 receptions, and he's kind of becoming a wide receiver 1, like pseudo, I think with the injuries partly. And they ran another jet sweep with him this week. Didn't work this week. But
yeah, they did stop him. But I think keep doing that, man. Like, keep giving him the ball. Like,
yeah.
I mean, we didn't even say right off the bat the 100-yard return touchdown.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't worry. There's a whole tab for him here in a second.
We'll get there. That's just because
we really should have let off with that though,
Yeah.
because it was the first play of the game. And then the other thing on the receivers, we'd mentioned the kind of the lack of tight ends. So 2 of the top 4 were tight ends this week. Orworth was our second leading receiver, 2 receptions, 30 yards, and then Vaname. I got to figure this out. He had 1 catch for 21 yards. So yeah, the tight ends look to be doing fine, and we're spreading the ball around. Still notably though, like no standout receiver.
Yeah.
And it is kind of a thing where like it makes me wonder, like if you have so many guys, you can spread the ball around too, but you also have like your the guy.
Like if you really just need them to like get
if you had like your guy, I think like if this team had a receiver like that, it could really go somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, there was like a few times like against, in this game where they were throwing it up to one of their because they had like two very good guys.
Yes,
we'll get into like
when
the
we go to the defense.
The defense,
they
but,
had receivers.
Yeah, they had receivers who could catch the ball consistently, and
Yes.
like one of them was an NFL talent, but just the guy that you can go to. And like we'll get into it when we get into the Indiana game, but they have two guys that are just like they
Those
can
are
just
those
go
guys,
to.
yes.
Like 9 receptions in a game.
That is like the one thing that this offense is truly lacking is like your standout receiver. And I think also part of that is going to come back to Ostranga's injury.
Yeah.
I think Ostranga could kind of be that guy who's not going to be like a receiver going out for 150 yards a game, but like he's the guy when it's third down that you can get the ball to, and not having him hurts.
Like I'm not going to do the research right now, but like when was the last time we had a guy that caught like more than like 5 receptions in a game? Like one player to catch more than 5.
I mean, I'm sure there's a couple of standout single performances. A wide receiver, the last guy that I can think of to do it consistently would be Brandon Smith in like 2015, 2016.
Like that's not a lot. Like 5-6 receptions. Like not every game, but just some.
I'm sure Noah Fant had multiple 5+ games in like 2017, 2018. You might have still been there.
Laporta was doing that, I'm sure.
Laporta, I don't know if he wasn't as good of a tight end at Iowa as Fant was.
No, Fant was by far. I think Fant was the best tight end.
Noah Fant is the best tight end the best tight end performance at Iowa. I would say.
Yeah.
Like
I was
obviously
surprised
his
when
NFL career
has
been
the better one, because I remember watching him like, right, Fant is the better.
Yes.
Like at Iowa, he was the better.
You could argue probably Kittle was close to as good as Fant, but I think Fant is the best tight end performance. That like best college tight end performance of an Iowa tight end. Like that dude was just unstoppable.
Yeah. Anywhere near the goal line, just touchdown.
Yeah, just a machine.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Right. Into the rushing.
Yeah. So Iowa ran on 64% of offensive plays.
Just gonna expect this year.
Yeah, and that is about exactly where our season average was last year. Was a little bit over that last year. But it's also good that hey, we ran on 65% of our plays and we still threw for almost 200 yards. So we can move the ball downfield in different ways, which has been something we've always struggled with.
Yeah. And honestly, like it seemed like we were like, again, like as I said at the very beginning, like it really felt like we could move the ball whenever we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we still only, which is good, but we only averaged 4.2 like rushing yards per carry.
Yeah.
Which like, that's still like, that's a first down.
Yeah.
Or that's you're going to get a first down if you continuously do that. But it felt better. And I don't know why. I don't know why that was. Maybe it's because also Gronowski was running the ball.
Yeah, Gronowski was running. And I think it was also just because when we would get stuffed, then we could turn around and throw it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel
again
like
just a weird
very weird. It's not as like
as an Iowa fan.
When you watch your running back get stuffed 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage or like 1 yard upfield, it's not like this drive's over feeling as much as it like normally is.
It usually is. It's usually you get stopped, that second, you try to maybe throw it on first down, you get nothing, second down you run it for -2 yards. You're like, all right, that's the
drive.
That's the drive.
Like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna try to throw here. We're gonna maybe get a quick slant, and we're just gonna be 3rd or 4th and 2. I like at best.
We're gonna
case
try
scenario.
to throw it more than 10 yards.
Yeah.
No.
Moulton led the rushing, 14 carries, 68 yards.
He was
shock.
questionable going into the game, right?
Yeah, I would say the only thing that was a shock to me was that he wasn't like on a limited touch.
Yeah,
like limited touch count.
Do you think it was because Patterson got injured?
I think that's part of it. I think Patterson going out probably increased his capacity a little bit.
Yeah, and Patterson had the best. I mean, besides like like Nathan McNeil had 1 rush for 10 yards, which is great. But
which I thought was weird. They only rushed him once. I think he's going to see a little more of an expanded role. Now that.
But Patterson did have the most. Besides him, he had the most. He had 6 carries for 37, so 6.2 average. He's played very well this season.
He has, yeah.
And I think he's a great I keep talking about it. But I think he's a great change of not change of pace back, but we got a lot of these guys that will run around they're good. They're good
in space.
They're good in space.
And Jazz is good up the middle.
Will run down the middle, and he's good at it.
And that's you almost need a back like that if you're Iowa.
Like
and especially with an O-line performing as good as they have. Yeah. That's
just
you want
between
that.
the tackles.
And then obviously Jazz went out hurt. They did update. Kirk Ferentz updated in the press conference today. He will not play this week against Indiana. Yeah, which is why I think that we might see a little bit more of McNeil.
Hey, throw him out there. Throw him into the fire
honestly,
against the. Are they top 10 now?
They gotta be. No, I don't think they are quite.
They're 11.
11, yeah. Terrell Washington also only 1 carry, even though he was still designated as the starter. So that they did switch on the depth chart this week. Moulton is designated the starter. Terrell's second. And then Jazz is still on the depth chart as third, even though they said he wasn't going to play this
Yeah.
week. I think maybe they just made the depth chart before they really made a call on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I think we might see a little bit more of McNeil this week, because, I mean, we're really down to Moulton with Xavier still out, Williams still out. Like, we're down to Moulton and Terrell Washington, who has had, 6-7 carries over the past 3 games. Like, they haven't really been
and he
rushing
hasn't
with them.
done that great in those games.
He's on kick coverage, obviously, and then he's our kickoff. He's one of the kickoff returners. The second.
He also did fumble the ball. He got the ball back, but
yeah,
he did fumble it, which that's a big no-no. I mean, that's a big no-no anywhere, but at Iowa,
it's a huge no-no. He is a converted receiver too, so like that's where he's
5'10", almost 210. Yeah, he's a bigger guy, bigger running back.
I've talked about this stat almost every week. I actually plugged it in here this week because it blew my mind. The inside-outside run. We only had 8 attempts up the inside for 6 yards. Yeah. And the outside run was 29 attempts for 157 yards. Yards per attempt inside 0.8. Yards per attempt outside 5.4.
Which is crazy because, like, as we were saying, like,
the O-line's good.
The O-line's good when Patterson has been running. Like,
yeah,
I would want to see his stats specifically because I do think, like, in my head, I'm like, oh, he always just runs straight.
Yeah,
like inside.
And again, 8 attempts. He only had 6 carries in the game, so those could have all been his attempts. Like, I don't have the exact numbers on that. Yeah, I mean, overall, offense looked, for the first time ever, I would say the offense was not the concern whatsoever.
No, not at all.
Yeah, they looked great. That downfield pass, again, just to bring it up again, that Dayton Howard pass was crazy. It was
phenomenal. Great
throw and honestly an even better catch. Like, he laid out for it. Like, yeah, got it right up over the shoulder of the defender. Receiver laid out for it, came down with it. It's something that for 5 years, you watch a ball go up like that from the pocket of an Iowa offense, and you're like, well, that's going nowhere. Yeah. Maybe it'll get picked off. If someone catches it, it's the other team.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I will say, I remember we were standing right there when he threw it.
Yeah.
And I kind of, like, was looking over here, and I saw it, like, go up out of the corner of my eye, and I turned, and it was, like, the first time I was like, I feel okay about this. Yeah. Like, I think we can come down at this ball.
Oh, no, that was beautiful. I was just like, is this Iowa's offense?
Yeah.
Like, I could get used to this.
Yeah, no, it was great. And so what the woe of the game.
Yeah, going from the highest of high to the
the
low part.
Yeah, and I'm not convinced it's necessarily a low yet. The defense struggled, especially in the first half.
Yes, I think it was
especially the firch quarter.
Yes,
the first quarter was brutal.
The secondary was getting just torn apart.
Yes,
I actually had in my notes, which you pointed out after, but I think it was Scherer. Is that
Shahar, I think.
Shahar?
Shahar.
I don't know.
Shahar, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he had a sack, had the most tackles with 10 on the team, but man, in the first half, it felt like every time they were completing a pass, it was Shahar was right there, and like I was getting so annoyed.
Yeah,
because I was just like, they just seemed like they were just targeting him or his side of the field or whatever it was, and they were just catching everything in the first half.
Which they very much were. I mean, he's a linebacker. He seems to be a linebacker who's really good on the line coverage and the blitzing, and he's less good in coverage.
Yeah, because they were, I mean, maybe it was just wherever, like, I don't know which side he plays or if he plays in the middle, but like maybe it was just whatever side, like, you know, Hall was on, who was getting targeted a lot. So maybe it was just that in the first half. I don't know. But
well, we can kind of go into that for a second. We'll come back to the secondary in a minute. Our pressure rate in the first half was 19%, which is not good.
Yeah.
We picked it up in the second half, 26%. So not insanely better, but it is better. And the other thing about the second half was that we did hit the quarterback 4 more times. So that helps.
Yeah. And we were definitely, like, just the eye test, just getting to him a lot easier, a lot more, like, just more often. Just, you know, I know it's just like, it's, you know, that's what the pressure rate is, but it felt like it was a lot more.
Yeah. So again, this week, Parker, also, we blitzed on 40% of plays, which is higher than your typical Iowa average. Now, blitzing on 40% of your plays and only pressuring the quarterback 19% of the time is not good. But, I mean, the Phil Parker mantra is, like, making adjustments. I think one of the things he adjusted was the way that we blitzed in the second half. We talked about it once in the game on that Shahar sack, where he did that really good sack that he had. where it was almost like a delayed blitz.
Yeah.
Where like the linebackers kind of drop back like 1 or 2 steps in coverage, let the line pick up let the D line pick up the O line, and then they go. And that seemed to work a little bit better. Yeah.
And I also think a little part of that is like I don't think the wide receivers were getting open as quickly.
Agreed.
Because like I don't know what the time to throw was, but like I feel like a lot times in the first half, like we couldn't even pressure him because of like how fast he was getting the ball out.
Agreed.
Like I felt like it wasn't like I was sitting there, I'm like, damn, like we cannot get to him. Like we're sitting there, like he's just sitting there and he's just throwing it.
Yeah.
I feel like he was throwing it pretty quickly, and just as wide receivers were getting open. And I feel like in the second half, like
the secondary
it was
steps
similar, but like, okay, we were still getting to him.
Yeah.
So I think that might have been part of it.
And yeah, so going into the secondary, I mean, okay, so I just again don't know how to say this guy's name. Kalikmanis or something. Kalikmanis. 24 completions on 40 attempts for 330 yards. Insane.
Yeah.
Not good. Not a stat line you want to see if you're playing Iowa's style of football.
Yeah. I mean, the 40 attempts. I mean, they just kept
40 attempts, yeah.
And honestly, it was 0 touchdowns and 1 interception, though.
That's true. Yeah. That 1 interception tipped the line. And then we talked about earlier the 2 receivers, Ian Strong, 8 receptions for 151 yards, and then KJ Duff, 7 for 92.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Strong is the 6'5" one.
Yeah.
And he's the one that was like, they're like getting, NFL looks.
Yeah, definitely NFL.
He was cooking us. He was cooking us. TJ Hall, who I actually thought, like just the eye test, maybe because I was so frustrated in the first half, I just wasn't paying attention to who specifically was getting targeted, but
yeah,
he was targeted 13 times. They had 8 receptions for 88 yards on him.
Yep.
That's not good.
Not great. And he had a couple of good pass breakups, I will say.
That's where I was like I literally had him in notes. I was like, Deshaun Lee's getting killed.
Yeah.
And then TJ Hall, in my notes during the game, I was like, he looks like better.
Yeah.
And I think that was more in the second half. He had quite a few I think he had 3 pass breakups during the game.
Yeah.
The pass deflections. And he had them in the great times. Like, I feel like, can't remember specifically, but those like a few was like third down. And it just like, again, the eye test. I was like, okay, he actually is playing a lot better, at least in the second half. And Deshaun Lee also stepped up.
I mean, he was targeted 13 times compared to Deshaun Lee's 6. So like, that's probably part of it. I stole your table just for the record. I'll bring it back. Yeah, 6 targets, 4 receptions, 108 yards for Deshaun Lee. So, that was honestly the shocking part to me, was that despite Deshaun Lee not great, 6 targets, 4 receptions, not a good percentage, but they still kept going after TJ Hall. It's most of the game.
I wonder if it was just like
you're just putting TJ Hall.
Strong had 8 receptions and Duff had 7 receptions.
Yeah,
so they're pretty close. I wonder how many targets were at each of them, but again, I thought Deshaun Lee was getting cooked. Like I did not realize that.
I mean, they just kind of both were.
Yeah, and I guess the 108 yards and 4 receptions is just longer, more eye-opening,
and some
plays.
Insane catches too. I will say.
Yeah,
there were some of those catches that your average receiver is not going to make. So that makes that stat line look a little bit better. Like that guy was talented.
Oh yeah, no, he'll be an NFL draft pick.
Yeah, it's definitely a draft pick.
Like he did really well.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to bring up though was Kalikmanis. The on target percent and the catchable percent were not great. First half was 85% on target, 80% catchable, and then second half 70% on target, 50% catchable, which almost makes me more worried about the secondary. Is that the throws weren't even always there, and they were still kind of getting torched.
At least as we just said, like I do feel like a few of those weren't even like I would put like catchable. Like the catch percentage was probably pretty low on him, and like again, the dude was like 6'5", like whatever. Like he was just making very good, just making plays. But yeah, it's not. We'll get into it, but I'm worried next week against.
I'm very worried.
On paper, better. Even better receivers.
Yeah, and we talk about Iowa State had some good receivers, also younger receivers though, less tested receivers.
Yeah,
and they held up pretty well there.
Yeah.
It's weird to say, but Indiana is definitely going to be the most complete team that we've played this year.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get into it.
Yeah,
but yeah. Well, the way that they looked against Illinois, I could see them beating Penn State for sure.
Oh yeah,
maybe Ohio State and Oregon. Yeah.
Well, like I'm like scared. I'm like, again, we'll get into it, but I'm scared where I am like, all right, their QB again, second half. I'm saying Rutgers QB didn't play great in the second half, but he was overall looked very good.
He did
330 yards. Their two
Their
wide
offense
receivers
looked good.
looked very good. And then next week, we're just going up against a step above that,
Yes.
which that's what's scary to me. Like literally on all three of those positions, their top two wide receivers and their QB who torched us.
Yeah.
Indiana's is a step above.
Yeah.
And that's
It's
what I'm scared
basically
about.
just like all those guys plus. Like all
Yeah,
those guys 2.0.
exactly.
Oh, yeah. The only other thing for the D-line, they did only allow 70 rushing yards on 30 carries. So, like, that's very good, which is another thing where we talked about we talked about this a few weeks ago where they're not letting guys really pass the line of scrimmage. They just can't seem to get to the quarterback behind the line of scrimmage either.
Yeah, and that'll be very important next week is getting to the Q. Obviously, as we just said, like we're gonna need pressure against
Yes.
this guy.
The secondary is going to have to buy some time to get to the quarterback, but they're also going to have to get pressure on the quarterback to help the secondary out, you know?
Yes.
And it's the thing about this game, like the Rutgers game, was like Ferentz constantly talks about like complementary football, the term complementary football, where it's like you don't have to have one phase of the game completely win the game for your whole team. If everybody just does their part, nobody has to stand out and you're still going to win the game.
Yeah.
This Rutgers game was one of the best examples of complementary football that we've seen in a long time, because it really has been for so long. The offense just couldn't do it and the defense could. And it's like we talked about, like we were more impressed with the offense than the defense this week, but it's not like the defense was awful.
No.
Like the defense did their job, especially in the
second half. They looked
Yeah.
like they looked a lot better. They played a lot more like Iowa style football.
Yes. And like, yeah, like
the
said
first
earlier,
half was bad, but
yeah, like
that
that
second
is
half
Phil
was-
Parker's. That's what he's known for, is those like game time adjustments. Yeah, our pressure rate went up. Our secondary did better, just on paper. I couldn't find it. I was trying to find quarter by quarter passing stats because I got to imagine that they were much worse in at least the second and third quarter. They did make some crazy plays in the fourth. Just that one receiver kind of came alive in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And then the brightest spot on the whole team was definitely Kaden Wetjen.
I mean, just right off the bat.
Right off the bat. Yeah, it was crazy. That was opening kickoff. I went upstairs to get something for the grill, I think.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't realize that, because like the broadcast started at 7 or whatever, and I thought that kickoff was like 7:30 because of that. I was like, oh, there's gonna be like 30 minutes of pregame, because in my head I'm so used to like NFL where there's always 30 minutes of pregame. And I was like, I'm gonna run upstairs and get some stuff. And I opened the door and I came out and I saw him catch the ball right there. And I was like, oh, okay, kickoff. And I started going down the stairs, and then I heard everybody scream, and I stopped right there on that landing, and I was like, okay, I gotta watch.
Yeah.
And he just took that thing right to the house.
I think I literally said like they kicked it right at him, and I was just like,
Shocking.
No, I literally like audibly said like, oh, they're kicking to him, like almost as a joke, like, oh, like, you know, like why would you do that? And then he literally just went. And I will say he didn't have to do much.
Yeah, I will put
Like-
this, if we get the website up, ideally I can just put it on the website. Otherwise I'll probably find somewhere to host it. I took a screenshot of just the replay.
Because
The blocking, I think I said it. The first thing I said when I came down the stairs is the first thing I said was that was awesome.
Yeah.
I think the second thing I said was, although that's some of the worst coverage I've ever seen on a kickoff.
I mean, like 90% of kick returners, if you kick return in the
oh
D1,
yeah,
could have
anyone's
scored
taking that to
there.
the house. I mean, so, well, okay, so yeah, the image that I'm talking about, I'll put it either in the website. It'll be in the link dump somewhere. There is
He's only
no
at the
joke,
15.
a 15-yard gap between the defender on his left and the defender on his right.
He's at
There
the
is
15,
so much
like-
space to run.
Like he's at the 15-yard line,
Yeah.
and he just has open field in front of him at
Yeah.
the 15.
And my favorite part about the replay is watching. So yeah, so Caden's at the 15, and Terrell's in front of him at the 20, and Terrell's like looking for someone to block, because
Yeah.
he's like, my job's to block, and he's like looking left, looking right, and
Yeah,
there's just no one to
around.
block, and he's like, I guess I'll just keep going. So they're just running on the field together, and Terrell is in front of him about 5 yards most of the way down the field, and Caden eventually catches him and kind of goes around him. But like the whole time, like Terrell's just looking over his shoulder, like there's no one for me to block.
Yeah, this picture is ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
I'm literally like,
My favorite
what
is the
are...
kicker is like leaning on his belly, on his heels.
Like he
totally
knows
not
right
in
away.
Yeah,
he's right away. He's just like, oh,
but
like,
also
he's
just not
taking
in a
it back.
position to make a play at
Oh,
all.
yeah.
Like he's leaning the wrong way.
Yeah, because he's not even. Well, because he's like, oh, like I don't know. It's not like me, like 1-on-1. I'm just gonna try to hit him. Like he's
Yeah.
like, oh, like literally, like it's me a blocker and the kick returner. So he's just like, I'm screwed.
And not to take anything away from Kaden on this, and also not even to take anything away from Iowa's blocking, because it was very good blocking, but it was also just some of the most botched kick return coverage I have ever seen. They just came down the field with a 15-yard gap between them.
Yeah.
Like, it is a hole. You could literally drive 2 semi-trucks side by side through it and not run anyone over. It's ridiculous. Like, yeah, I encourage you, if you don't typically look at the things we put in the link up, to look at this photo, because it's wild. Or just go and like watch the replay again.
Because like I think I like again like audibly was just like, oh, like they're kicking to him, and then I was like, oh, he's got space.
Yeah, he's
like
gone.
It was so
you could
obvious.
tell on the 10-yard line that was a touchdown.
I was like, oh, like that, like that's way too much space. He's just gone.
Ridiculous.
So
383 return yards over the last 2 games.
Yeah, he leads. I know he leads the NCAA in combined punt and kick return. He's the only player last year in all of the NCAA to have a kick return touchdown and a punt return touchdown. He's already got that, but through 4 games this year.
That's good.
So
yeah. I think he had also like a 42-yard punt return at one point in the game this week. The number's probably not exactly right, but somewhere around there.
Yeah,
He split special teams player of the week with the Michigan kicker Dominic Zvada.
Mm-hmm. He did win them a game, so.
Yeah, he did win them the game. He was also 3 for 3 on field goals, 3 for 3 on extra points. Like, yeah,
that's fine.
It's definitely a performance that would win the special teams player of the week any week.
Yeah,
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Again,
we appreciate a good punter kicker.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I've seen a lot of people on Twitter comparing Kaden to Tim Dwight, which is those are big shoes to fill.
To be honest, I might just be a bad Iowa fan, but I never. When was he playing? I mean,
I would just watch some of his highlights. The dude.
Yeah, I'll have
wild.
to go do that. Yeah, I'll watch some of his highlights at different times.
He's Iowa's greatest returner probably. And then I've seen a lot of people saying it might be Kaden now. Like
We'll see what he does the rest of the year, but if he
definitely
keeps
the best one we've had in a while. I'm not saying something because Cooper DeJean was a great returner.
Yeah, he's literally like playing his way just on punt and kick return to
into
like
the
being
NFL.
into the NFL. Yeah.
Yeah, like he could easily be like a Deebo Samuel type guy where you put him in for like returns and like jet sweeps and like occasionally send him out wide.
Yeah,
I think at this point, as good as Deebo.
This Deebo's good.
Deebo's good.
He's a good wide
He's a good receiver on top of a good returner and on top of a good runner.
He's at least like gonna be, even if he doesn't get drafted, he's at least like I there's no doubt in my mind he's at least sign somewhere and be the return guy.
Yeah.
Like he's so good at it. And especially these rules now, like NFL rules I should say, like where like I feel like for a while there in the NFL, like you almost didn't need a good returner because all of the kicks were just going out of bounds.
That's true.
Going out of play.
Yeah, a good punt returner can make a game difference, but a kickoff return is now a way bigger deal than it was. That's true with the landing zone.
More on special teams.
Yeah, Stevens had a bad miss field goal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still trust Stevens.
I do too.
He had the yips the one year. He got over it. He had a great year last year. He hasn't even had a bad year this year. He's had 2 misses. One of them I'm pretty sure was still good, and the missed extra point.
Yeah.
The miss this week was a little more egregious, but
they're not coming in the worst times. Like that could have been a bad time because obviously if Iowa didn't get the interception, turn the game around, yada yada yada.
Yeah, 3 points could have made it more of a difference in that game.
But luckily, it's not like he's missing last-second field goals to tie or to win.
Exactly. Yeah.
So.
And then Rutgers also 0 for 2 on field goals. Stevens was 1 for 2. Rutgers 0 for 2. 1 miss and then 1 that we blocked.
Yeah,
also.
they completely jinxed them. They did like they showed like I think he's like I think their kicker was like 7 for 7 this year or something. Or 5 for 5 or whatever.
Yeah, it was a weird.
And they're like, he's very good.
It was a weird kicking game. It was a weird kicking week because did you see on what was the noon slate on Sunday for the NFL? There were like 3 blocked field goals within 10 minutes of each other.
Yeah, I think there was like
2 of them was
total.
returned for touchdowns. The Jets blocked the one against the Browns or the Bucks, returned it for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Eagles blocked the one against the Rams, returned it for a touchdown. And then what was the other one that was blocked?
Oh, the Packers had their field goal.
That's
blocks.
Right. It was the Packers. Yeah, it was the Packers. Yeah.
And that turned into them losing.
All 3 of those were I think within 10 minutes of each other because they were all the end of the noon slate. It was crazy.
I do want to shout out Ethan Herkett.
Yeah.
Had the block, and I'm pretty sure he played well too. Did he have a sack? He also had a sack. So I want to shout him out because he had a sack and a block punt or block field goal.
There weren't a lot of big games this week that weren't expected. The biggest shakeup in the poll, I would say, was Illinois number 9, obviously beat by Indiana, who was number 19. Illinois down to 23, Indiana up to 11.
They didn't just get beat.
They destroyed them.
They got embarrassed.
Yeah, and we will talk about that a little in depth in a second. The only other one I put on here was Washington 59, Washington State 24. Only interesting because Washington, obviously Big Ten. That game was like tied at halftime, and then I was like, wow, Wash State's like, because like I put it on as like a joke when they first kicked off because there was like 4 of them, and I was like, oh, I'll throw the Apple Cup in here. There's nothing else on, and then I was like. Yeah, like Washington like got up like 17-0 or something, and I turned it off. And then like I brought it back at one point during halftime, and I was like, holy shit, they're like tied. And then Washington just ran away with it. Biggest game next week, obviously Oregon, Penn State. That's a huge game.
Yeah, that'll be fun to watch.
I'm very excited for that one. USC at Illinois, another fun one.
Yeah.
Was it a fluke, or was Illinois as overrated as we think they could have been?
Or is Indiana like that?
Yeah. Alabama, Georgia, also this week. Normally in that game, it's just kind of like like the meme, I'm rooting for a meteorite.
Yeah.
At this time, I'm actually rooting for Georgia because I want to see Alabama just drop out of the polls.
Yeah, I want to see them plummet. I'm looking forward to it's Friday, and I don't think I can actually watch it because we have a birthday to go to.
That game's Friday?
No, I was going to bring up Florida State, Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
Because Florida State has had Alabama, which is a very good win. But besides that, they haven't played anybody, and I'm excited to see
another actual game.
Yeah, like I know Virginia's not good, but they're a Power 5 team.
The other big news of the week of today, really, or was that yesterday that it broke? Mike Gundy out at Oklahoma State.
It was today.
Yeah, was it today? Mike Gundy out at Oklahoma State. Fun fact that somebody tweeted, he only had 2 losing seasons in his time there. His very first season and then the last year, obviously, where he was, 3-9, didn't win a conference game. Started this year 1-2.
I mean, I was looking through like the last few years, and like they had winning seasons, but they didn't like play. They were like 8-6.
Obviously, a legendary coach. I'm a man. I'm 40. Will forever live on.
Yeah.
Their offensive coordinator took over as interim. There's already rumors though that they've reached out to Matt Campbell. I saw one that said mutual interest. So.
I also saw that, and I was like, I don't know how much I believe this.
He's definitely not going this year. No. He's not going to like leave this Iowa State team that could really put something together. I'm hesitant to say he would even leave for next year because, like we said, this Iowa State team is young.
I don't think
aside from Brecht.
Besides the fact that Oklahoma State does have more. I'd have to imagine they have more money.
It's more of a notable university. I'm sure they have more money.
They
it's
probably
not
have
really
more
a
money.
step up, though. Yeah.
They're in the same conference, right?
Yeah.
Same conference. Oklahoma State hasn't been,
amazing
in like 5 years.
I would even more than that.
More than that.
The last time I remember them really rivaling Oklahoma was like probably 7 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I can't imagine Matt Campbell goes anywhere that's probably on the same level.
I agree. I don't see him making a lateral move at all.
No. Yeah. Even if it's like, all right, they have more resources there. But the team hasn't, still same conference. He might make more money and he has more resources, but the team itself's not.
Yeah, it is really, at the end of the day, I don't know. It's weird. Because if you have Iowa State 10 years ago, it's definitely not a lateral move.
Oh, yeah.
Even with the same circumstances of conference alignment, how it is today. But where he's got Iowa State to, it would be at this point a lateral move. Now, here's the thing, though, is that could change overnight. 2 years from now, you could look back at that and be like, why would he not make that move? That was such a dumb call.
Yeah.
But it's also hard to make that decision right now.
Yeah. I look at a lot of these college opportunities where a coach will jump ship for a quote unquote bigger program.
Yeah.
Like
DeBerg to Alabama.
Yeah. Or even Frost to Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Or Fickle to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
They get to these bigger programs and everything's different.
Everything's,
Fickle's going to be out at Wisconsin.
Alabsolutely.
Frost left Nebraska.
I already saw a Photoshop of Mike Gundy in a Wisconsin polo. Ooh, did that camera turn off?
Oh, we might be down a camera. Do you want to get a second beer for the Indiana?
Ooh, that's not a bad call. Yeah, might as well.
Okay, so it is more. This is not a good. It'll get there. Well, yeah, it kind of is it's not a great pour, but it is actually darker than I expected.
Yeah, it does kind of have a multi-color.
Because it is a Mars.
Yeah, I'm a fan. Back Pocket makes some good beers.
Yeah, it goes down Goes on smooth.
Their brewery on the river landing is really cool. If you ever are in town to check it out, they have wood-fired pizzas that are really good too.
Oh, awesome! I love
it's the
a
only
good
food they
pizza. I love a good pizza beer combo.
Yeah, it's a pretty small place. Like most of it is taken up by the brewery, but they have like a small like tasting area, obviously, and like I think literally the only thing they make is like wood-fired pizza. It's very good.
Definitely, we'll have to check it out next time in Iowa.
I got the Gabe's glass out. It's it's a very old Gabe's glass. What is the other bar on there?
It's Wildwood.
Yes, which hasn't been open for years. Like it's probably closing in on a decade since Wildwood's been open.
Yeah, I don't think it was around too long.
It might have been around like our freshman or sophomore year. Yeah. Very old bar.
Gabe's is still around, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
Gabe's is an institution. Also, I forgot to even mention. Ari worked for Back Pocket. I totally forgot about that. He worked for Back Pocket for years when we were in college. Yeah, and so he brought the beer. He's obviously a big fan of their beer.
I wasn't into beer as much as I am now by any means when I was in college.
Yeah.
So I pretty much knew like Big Grove and that was it.
Oh yeah, he would bring it home all the time. It was great. He would just bring it back into our apartment, like because like anytime they would have like a canning malfunction and they couldn't sell it, he could just bring those back with him.
Oh,
it was
awesome.
Great.
I need to work at a brewery. I think I was actually thinking about it. I need
a good part-time gig.
Yeah, like my job, so like especially Blackhawk season, like I've got like random days off like during the week where I don't do anything, and I'm like, I'll just pick up shifts at like a brewery or something.
Yeah,
I know all the shit. So
okay. Well, should we jump back into this?
Yeah.
So Gundy out. We covered that. Now let's get back into. We talked a little bit about this past few weeks, the Heisman odds. This relates very heavily to this week. So also Ari, I guess this is just the Ari shout out podcast. He texted me earlier today and he was like, "Do you see that Fernando Mendoza, the Indiana quarterback, is the Heisman favorite?" And I was like, that's wild. So I looked up the odds. I put him in here because obviously we're playing him next week. His odds plus 800, and then the previous favorite, John Mateer, Oklahoma quarterback, plus 900. I texted Ari back, and I think I said like, that's crazy. Can I bet against that? Because I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Sure enough, about 90 minutes after that, the news comes out that John Mateer is going to have hand surgery for an injury he sustained against Auburn this week. Expected to return, quote unquote, sometime this season. And I was like, I bet those odds changed. So I went in, and the new odds are Mateer is plus 10,000 and Mendoza is up to plus 650. The runaway favorite at this point, because the next highest guy is Dante Moore, the Oregon quarterback, I think, plus 1,100.
I need to put money up, not like against him. Because all it's going to take is against Mendoza. Because all it's going to take is one of Oregon, Penn State, like some of these other like teams with like really good QBs.
Yeah.
To like Indiana could win out. They could.
Yeah.
Like they looked that good, but
because at the end of the day, it is not the award for the best player in college football. It is the award for one of the best players on one of the best teams.
Exactly. Yeah. Or just the one that has the most hype. Because I don't know.
Also true.
I don't know what your thoughts were like last year. Like I thought Genty deserved the Heisman.
I would agree.
Like I know.
And I'm not
Sanders
a huge Genty fan because I think Caleb Johnson
Hunter
is better. But so Indiana's got they've got Oregon on their schedule.
I mean, after
they've got Penn State on their schedule.
After they lose to us, he'll those odds will drop.
And then after they lose to Oregon the next week, or you think they'll beat Oregon? They'll lose to us and beat Oregon.
They'll probably beat them. We'll have a good quality win on our schedule.
Spoken like a true fan. Yeah, so he is now the runaway Heisman favorite, though.
Yeah, I want to put money against that.
So maybe let's get back into that game a little more then, because we covered most of the too deep. Okay, we didn't say so. Seth Anderson, they said he should play this week, so that's promising. He's been practicing.
He needs to play.
Patterson, as we said, is not going to play Saturday, so Molten RB1. This Indiana game, Saturday 2:30 in Kinnick. Indiana coming off of a huge win over, number quote unquote 9 Illinois.
I mean, they stomped them. Like that was
just
like
crushed them.
I haven't seen like I was like thinking, I'm like, has a top 10 team lost to that?
Yeah,
like, lost like that, like that in a while. Like I'm sure there's plenty.
I'm sure it's happened.
No, I'm sure there's plenty of like instances like that. But like man, like they got 63-10. Like that's a stomping. Like, their defense
absolutely
got destroyed, and their offense couldn't do anything.
Yeah,
and I was like looking. I'm like, all right,
I was confident Indiana would win that game.
Yeah,
I think Illinois is not as good as people were hyping them up to be. I think they were way overrated. I thought Indiana would comfortably win that game. It was at Indiana. I did not think it would be quite that big of a blowout. I could have even said I could see Indiana scoring 60 points. I just thought if that was the case, Illinois would have scored like 40.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it would have been at least a closer game than that.
It makes Indiana look a lot more scary going into the week against us.
We've been talking all year in this podcast about like, oh, Indiana should be an easy win. You know, they're looking okay this year, but they're probably overrated.
I never said this makes me more scared. But like, I was like, okay, this would be the game that like we actually finally beat a ranked opponent.
Yeah. Real quick, let's cover that. Iowa has not beat a ranked team since Penn State in 2021. 10 straight losses, which I think we talked about that during the Iowa State game. Yeah. It's just worth bringing up again. Not a great stat.
No. And it's funny because I'm like, all right, I do think Indiana's a better team than Iowa State. We lost to Iowa State.
Yeah.
But I almost feel better about our chances going to this. One, because we're home. But two, because of how, like,
catch them off guard.
Well, yeah, they just had a ridiculous game.
Catch them sleeping
a little bit. Like playing it. Kinnick is hard as much as we're going to pat ourselves on the back like it is. And we looked decent against Rutgers. And I know it's Rutgers, but like they're better than they usually are.
Yeah.
And our defense stepped up in the second half as we talked about, and our offense looked good.
Yeah.
Like I think we can score around 10 points against them.
I think let's break it down the box score a little bit for Illinois. So Mendoza 21 for 23, which is an insane completion percentage for 267 yards and 5 touchdowns. Which is wild. Those receivers that we talked about, Kobe Martin, the running back to Kobe Martin, 12 carries, 107 yards, very good. And then the receiving core, I don't know, Surratt, I think is how you say his name.
Yeah.
9 receptions, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns.
So he's going to be a problem.
Yes.
He's the 11th
He's going to be the problem.
He's the 11th ranked wide receiver for the NFL draft in this upcoming draft by PFF.
And I think that might go up.
Yeah.
And then Omar Cooper, 6 receptions, 78 yards. I don't know his name as much, 1 touchdown. But I mean, 6 receptions. Highest was 3 receptions this week. Like what we were talking about, Iowa doesn't have like the guy on receiving. Indiana has like the guy and then another guy who would be the guy at Iowa.
Like it was against Indiana State like 2 weeks ago, but Cooper had 10 receptions for 207 yards and 4 touchdowns. Like that's still against
ridiculous stats. Yeah. Then they also had another running back, Kalen Black, 10 carries, 89 yards. They had 312 rush yards, 267 pass yards.
At least I'm like
579 total yards.
Yeah. So at least like looking at this game, at least looking at the rushing from both sides. Hilarious stat from Illinois. They averaged 0.1 yards per carry on wild. 20 carries. Iowa can do better than that.
That's wild.
Iowa will do better than that.
This will be a big test for that number 1 ranked O-line.
Yeah. I think that the fact that's like, okay, Illinois cannot get anything going on the ground. Iowa, like no matter who they play, I think they'll be able to
run the ball
in
some capacity. Especially with a running quarterback.
Yeah. So I think like we got them on that, and we're usually pretty good against the run as well. So like if we can shut down the run,
okay,
it's just
really quick.
Yeah.
The rushing stat is skewed because the quarterback had a negative 27 yard. Negative 27 rushing yards because I'm guessing how many sacks did he take?
I think he took 7 sacks.
In college football, that counts towards rushing.
Okay.
Whereas in the NFL, it does not.
But to be fair, the other 2 guys...
That should almost be excluded as an outlier. Okay, yeah I can do the math because there's not that much. Go ahead. I'll do the math really quick.
Yeah, but I was saying like even like their rushing, like they're averaging, they had 49 carries for 6.4 yards per carry. That's very good. But again, like
they averaged 3.5 per carry on their between the running backs.
Yeah, so still not good. So yeah, I think that we can do better rushing against them, and I think we can shut down their rushing better.
Yeah,
and so I do think it's going to come down to again, which we're worried about is the secondary. Yes. And if we can get to the quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really going to come down to that. Like just both the receivers and their quarterback are really good. Whereas I think Iowa State, very good quarterback, very young receivers.
Yeah.
I think Rutgers, good quarterback, good receivers. I think Indiana, I don't remember if we said it talking about Indiana earlier, as we said it before we started, but Indiana is just Rutgers +1 in all facets. Yeah. It is that really good quarterback and that really good receiver, but better.
I know we just kind of like touched on it, but are you worried about, I know our offensive line is graded the best in college football, but I mean, Indiana was able to get 7 sacks.
Yeah, 7 sacks, 10 tackles for loss.
And I think we'll obviously do better than that. I think our offensive line, obviously the offensive line is ranked the best in college football. Yeah. Like they'll do better than that, but it's not a good sign.
It's not. And I mean, also, Gronowski, we know, can run, whereas the Illinois quarterback had negative 29 rushing yards, apparently. So there's going to be a little bit of a difference there, hopefully, if he can get across the line.
That's hopefully a positive. And, you know, I'm just going to bring this back because, like, you know, it is statistically, it's looking grim. Statistically. Yeah. But, hey, last time last time Indiana, at least last time they were in Kinnick,
they were very highly touted. It was Michael Penix Jr.
And
2021.
He threw what, like 3 interceptions, 4 interceptions. I
One
think
of my
that was
favorite
when he
games
like
of all
broke
time.
both his like legs. Like I was with one of my best friends is an Indiana fan.
Yeah.
We went to that game together.
Yeah.
And he like was leaving laughing because he was like, that was like actually just like so laughing. He wasn't even mad. He was just like, that was the most absurd. Like it was like the first time Indiana was good. Mm-hmm. They had some type of expectations going into the season, and Iowa just stomped them.
No, I went to that game with my friend who also lives here now. Actually, we went to that game. It would have been 2021, so it was the year after I graduated. So it would have been her senior year. So So I went back. We went to that game, and I remember we were trying to get in. It was the first year that they required the mobile tickets, and I couldn't get mine to download. So we had to go to the ticket booth to get like the paper tickets. It was like this whole thing, and we were sitting in line waiting for the ticket booth, and there was an Indiana fan in front of us. Everybody was frustrated because the line was so long because everybody was having trouble with the mobile tickets for the first time. And we were talking to this Indiana fan. He was like, I don't really know. Like, are you guys going to be good this year? And I was like, we were just coming off of that 2020 season where like we lost 2 really bad games to start the year, and then we kind of kicked everyone's ass the rest of the year. And I was like, to be honest, I don't know. I was like, I think like you guys are going to be decent, so I think this game will tell us whether or not we're going to be good this year. I was like, I think this will be fun to have as an opening game because of that. It's a good metric for the year. And he was like, okay, like good to know. And then we went into that game and like the result, and like we were walking out, I looked at her and I was like, I want to find that guy because I got to know what he's singing right now. Like we just blew them away. I think we led that game off with a touchdown and a pick 6, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, it was like right away. Like there was no hope for Indiana at all. Like I actually felt bad for my friend because like you actually came all the way here. Obviously, you know, he also came for the bars and stuff, but you came all the way here excited for the season. For you know, they're a basketball school.
The most hyped they'd gone into a season ever.
And Iowa just destroyed their spirits, and that's exactly what I want to happen this time. Like he won't even talk shit to me because he's like, wow, last time I talked shit, they got steamrolled.
It backfired. God, 2021 was such a fun year until that Purdue game.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Indiana through Penn State, some of the best Iowa football since 2015, probably.
Oh yeah.
Aside from the Ohio State game in 2017, the one bright spot.
Yeah, it was Indiana was 17, Iowa was 18.
What's the drive summary? Because I think it was we scored a touchdown and then a pick 6, or the other way around.
Yeah, right off the bat, 4 plays, 67 yards, touchdown, and interception for touchdown.
So the first two drives we scored, and then we got the pick 6.
Riley Moss,
first down, second down.
Yeah, Riley Moss, the interception for touchdown.
The thing is, Illinois plays USC this week. And like that'd be such a good metric to decide whether or not this was a fluke or if Indiana's legit. But the thing is, it doesn't matter because we play Indiana at the same time. So, like I think they're both two. It's
not going to make us feel better or feel worse.
The Illinois game's an 11 a.m. kickoff, so we'll have a couple of quarters to see whether or not we'll see how our confidence is after a couple of quarters of the Illinois USC game.
Hey, maybe the home field advantage just takes place. You know, maybe they get rattled.
Yeah,
you never know. I mean, we beat Ohio State by like 30.
That's true.
But yeah, so Indiana's coming to the game -7.5 favorites.
Yeah, at -110.
Over unders 48.5.
I think if this was Indiana -6.5 is a better line because if it was -6.5, maybe I'm saying that as somebody who wants to take Iowa.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying if at 7.5, I don't know if I would take Iowa plus the points. At 6.5, I might. Gronowski's over-under for passing yards also 149.5, which seems accurate. I think he was like 130 last week, and he hit.
Yeah.
I think he ended 190 total. So, and then I also threw in the touchdown score odds here because Gronowski is minus 125, and then Indiana running back minus 165, and then you've got 3 Indiana guys before Kamari Moulton's the next highest for Iowa at 145 plus 145.
And then the Elijah Sarah at the wide receiver is the highest. He's got the best odds to score.
I also didn't mention during the Rutgers recap real quick, the line shifted to Iowa minus 1.5 like the day of kick, and we talked about last week Gronowski was minus 125 touchdown score like on Tuesday, and he went to plus 125 the day of. I did take that, made some money on it. Should have bet him 3+. Probably would have fucking made bank that way. So I'm curious to watch this line and how it moves during the week.
I think it'll drop. I think it'll drop because my hypothesis right now is like
there's a lot of hype around Indiana.
There's a lot of hype around Indiana. I think they're going to realize, okay, Iowa's at home. Like, I think that it's going to take apart. I think it'll go down to like 6.5, maybe 4.5. Like, I think like time like kickoff starts. Like, I think it'll go down.
Do you think we win this game?
No.
I'm kind of the same way.
I think if Indiana just beat Illinois like 30-20 or something, like I'd be a lot more confident. It's just like
I think the only thing that makes me have any confidence is the fact that it's at Iowa. I think if we were going to Indiana, I'd pretty much write this off as a loss right now.
Yeah. They're not going to have as much momentum as being at home, and they're just like, I think Illinois gave up. Like, you give up 62 points, you gave up.
That is true. At a certain point, you give up, and Indiana also did not let off the hammer.
Yeah.
Like, they were fourth quarter starters in there running them down.
And that is what's good about Iowa, at least, and what like Kirk Ferentz has there is like the way they play, it will not be like a 50-point, like they're not going to be able to put up 50 points. Like, they're just not.
I'm nervous to say that.
I mean, I guess like our secondary, yes.
I don't want to get clipped.
I don't want to get clipped, yeah. Because our secondary could easily let that up. But I think like just the way we play, slow the tempo down.
It's going to be a slower game than Illinois.
Yes, I think that Iowa will like. I feel like that might be like their main point going into this game is that they can't let Indiana get the momentum because obviously they just ran with it.
Another stat that is worth noting from that Illinois-Indiana game is that time of possession discrepancy was huge. Illinois 20 minutes 18 seconds, Indiana 39 minutes 42 seconds.
That's crazy.
So it was very much just like they were longer drives for Indiana, and Illinois could not get off the field, or they could not stay on the field when they got their offense out there. Indiana also 8 for 11 on third down, 1 for 1 on fourth down. Those are kind of insane conversion numbers.
Yeah. How much of it you're looking at it as like, oh, this could just be like almost like a fluke for Indiana. Like, I don't want to say fluke when
totally
you,
could
like
be. I mean, like you said, we beat Ohio State 55-24, and that wasn't like a team that was unstoppable by any means. I think this is the first game though this year where we're at the end, and my question isn't what do you want to see out of this team, because all we want to see is a win. Like this is the game where I don't care how you pull it off, just pull it off. That's all I'm asking for. Just
get a win.
Yeah.
Get some turnovers.
Yeah, just walk out of there with a win.
We will not win this game if we don't get, I think, more than one turnover.
Yeah.
I think we need two turnovers.
The defense will have to step up.
Yeah.
I think the offense can do its job here. I mean, Gronowski has looked better every week.
Yeah.
Like, he's consistently got better every week. He's getting more confidence. He's getting more flow with the rest of the team. I think, honestly, our receivers are holding him back. And I think they're also starting to step up a little more, too. So I'm not worried about the offense not even doing well. I think this defense is good enough they could really shut down our offense. I will just say that I'm not worried about our offense doing their part. I don't think this is going to be a game where the defense is going to lock them down and the offense isn't going to be able to pull through like we've been so frustrated with Iowa teams for the past 5 years doing, where it's like it was a winnable game if just the offense could score points. I think the offense is capable to, like, at the very least, pull their weight for this game.
Definitely. And again, I feel like I keep saying this week in, week out, but I think it's going to come down to TJ Hall and Deshaun Lee.
And the linebackers.
And the linebackers, yes. Linebackers are important there too. The secondary needs to step up. And if they play like they did in the second half last week, we've got a chance.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have to make our adjustments faster this week.
Yes. And Kirk we trust, and
In Phil Parker,
In Phil Parker, we trust, more importantly. I mean, I'm excited. I am
excited.
I'm excited. I'm going to go into it very optimistic and just see what happens. Because, like, when you're the underdog like this,
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit more fun. Like, I'm just like, no one's
There's a little
expecting
less
us to win.
pressure.
Yeah, it's less pressure.
I think this is also a little less of like just being the underdog though, because like our season's definitely still on the line at this point.
Yeah. There's always going to be that stigma around like an Ohio State and Oregon, like where like,
Yeah.
even if Indiana is as good as
Yes.
Ohio State, I'm still going into it like we can beat them.
Yeah.
Like we can't.
I think it's not an unwinnable game.
Yeah.
And it's also a game that is a lot more important playing a really good Penn State team and a really good Oregon team this year. If we want to have any shot at making the playoffs, I think we have to win this game.
Yes.
Like if we do not win this game, realistically, our playoff shot is gone.
Yeah.
Like because at that point, the only way that it stays alive is beating at least one of, if not both, Penn State and Oregon.
Yeah. Are those games home or away?
Penn State they're both home. They're both home.
Oh, they're both home.
They are both home.
Hey, if there's a year,
Our 3 hardest games are at home. Yeah.
which almost doesn't bode well for the future, but hey.
I remember like saying during the Iowa State game that it was like I was going into that game more nervous than excited. This one I am more excited than nervous, but I think part of that also might be because my expectations are a little less. I was a little more expectant to beat Iowa State than I am Indiana.
Yeah. That one almost felt like a trap game when they were the favorites.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
Because we always expect to beat Iowa State.
As we should.
I mean, I always expect to beat Indiana, but Indiana's never been this good.
Yeah.
It's actually absurd what I'm gonna forget his name, but Indiana's coach is doing. Like we brought up, like
Gundy, I think.
Yeah, Signetti. Like we've brought up like the Luke Fickell. We've brought up Frost
Going to good programs and running them into the ground.
Yeah,
Whereas he's
like
done the opposite.
It is like extremely hard
And the
to do what he's doing.
The speed with which he
It
has
is
turned the program
crazy.
around is wild.
Like it is crazy what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I give all the credit to him, to Indiana. That's the thing is like, I feel like I'm also excited because I'm like, I don't hate Indiana. I don't dislike them.
Yeah.
I actually like, besides this week, I'm rooting for them. Like,
Yeah.
like if there was a team like, they're like the Iowa every year. Like Iowa, like, going to the Big Ten championship, like no one's expecting much, but like they're there, they're playing well, and they're the underdog. And I feel like that's kind of Indiana right now, which sucks. It's not Iowa. But they're like the Iowa in the last
I think this is also
5-10
closer to
years.
like a 2015 Iowa, where if they get to the championship, you think they have a shot too.
Mhm.
Like in 2021 when we went, nobody thought we had a shot of beating Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
But like I think if this Indiana team makes it, like I said, I think I could see them beating Penn State, Oregon, Ohio State. I wouldn't necessarily put money on it, but wouldn't be shocked if it happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in that same vein, I would not put money on Iowa winning this game, even though I will probably have a couple beers at the tailgate and do it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to it.
Yeah, I'll be there.
This is a long one, but hey, there was a lot to get off our chest. There was a lot to talk about.
Let's see how it plays out.
Feeling good after last week. I'm feeling good going into this game.
Well, like I said, hopefully we'll get the website up this weekend. I'll try to get it up in time to please check out that photo of the punt return because it's wild. It will be in the link dump. Along with anything else that we talked about. Link dump will be, I don't think I've really mentioned this, but the link dump will be, once the website is up, it'll probably only be on the website, but the website will always be linked in the description of the podcast platform you're listening on. We are on Spotify, Apple Music,
all the ways you can
all the
get.
big ones.
Yeah.
I don't remember the names of a lot of the other ones, the more indie ones. We're on YouTube. We'll link ourselves. I'm Drew again.
Jeremy.
This is
Hawks off Melrose.
week 5.
We'll see you next week after a Iowa dub.
Bold call.